so they can absorb our skincare. Yes, and we learn Melvin says not everybody's skin is the same. Wonderful. Experience the different. Listen to your customers. Yes, blotter test in order to tell the skin type. Wonderful. Everybody, yes, you have indeed been very good students. Okay, so good job, guys. So in webinar 1, we have shared with you the basics, okay, of the Celevive line and how we can interact, okay, and share the goodness of it with our customers. And then we also shared with you about how you can do a consultation with your customers, right? And in the last webinar, we spoke about ingredients list, how you can better advise what products to be used by your potential customers. Okay, and today we are turning the spotlight not on us, not on the products, but rather we are turning the spotlight onto our potential customer. All right, so let's take a look. The next slide. Yes. All right, so here, let me read this out for you. Success is not just about having the right opportunities, but it's about handling the opportunities right. Okay, so this sounds like some motivational sentence, right, for us. Yes, of course, you and I know that we cannot rely just on motivation, or one day you wake up and you think, today, yes, I feel like this is my lucky day. I feel like the opportunity is gonna come my way, so I'm going ahead to sell. That doesn't happen. Okay, so everybody, please type into chat what do you think is meant by handling opportunities right? How do we handle opportunities right? Okay, let's take a look. Take action. Yes, very good. Okay, we listen. Excellent. Right, you handle the opportunity by listening, asking questions, be positive, answer them. Wonderful. Yes, be consistent, show up. Excellent. All right. All these are fantastic points, okay? So when you say you show up, there are different ways to show up, right? So some of us can just merely be present in person and you show up to a spa party without any uh, uh preparation, right? And that is not really showing up, that is just turning up. Okay, yeah. So in every way, uh when we are prospecting, we do not want to just turn up, just be there, but we want to show up. And what do we mean by that? We need to make sure that we have the systems, we have the processes to ensure that every time that we show up, we are able to multiply the impact. All right? Every time you show up, you want to multiply that impact. So, earlier we have already shared with you the pipeline for sales. We begin with prospecting, right? You want to open up the funnel to be as large as possible. Imagine if your funnel is only this width. When it trickles down to lead qualification, opportunity, closing, it becomes extremely small. However, if right from the get-go, when you prospect, you widen it, right, for your sales funnel to be huge, then that is when, even when it trickles down to lead qualification, opportunity, and your closing, you get a substantial number. All right. So a pipeline in business is a structured sequence of steps, okay, that resources, projects, or leads move from initiation to completion. Okay. So again, it is structured, it is not random, and it is not by accident. All right. We plan the sales processes. However, today in webinar 4, the highlight, the spotlight is for us to place it on our customer. While we are thinking about our sales pipeline, our customers are not thinking of that with us. For them, they are on their own journey. And what journey is that? It's an experiential journey. So, for our customers, they are on a journey. The beginning for them is discovery. When they become aware of their skin concern, or they become curious about what could happen to their own skin. When they look at your skin and they go like, hey, what have you been using? Why is it that your skin looks so radiant? I would like that for myself. That's the beginning of their discovery. Next, when you prospect them and you invite them to our spa party, you invite them for a conversation, then that's when you get a conversation with them where they get to share their needs and their goals, right? So earlier I've seen in the chat group you wrote that you learn how to help your customer decipher their skin needs, their skin types, right? However, in the conversation, you also want to encourage them to share with you what their goals and aspirations are. What do they envision for themselves and what truly delights them, right, in their skincare journey? Next, they will go through an experience. Okay, after you have invited them to have a conversation with you or to the spa party where they have conversations with you and with the other guests, they will have an experience, right? Experience through trying out the products, through testing, as well as um, through your demonstrations. All right, and then that's when the time comes for them to say, is this for me? Is Celevive suitable for me? Am I willing and ready to embark on this journey together with Celevive, together with you, right? A decision time comes when the customers see the results, they feel the results, and they are ready to begin their skincare journey with you. All right. So we need to remember, because it is a journey, it is a process. So the sale doesn't begin at the end of the funnel. It begins right from the first interaction, right? Sometimes we think that when does sales happen? We think that it happens only, like after your demonstration and you say, okay, everybody, this is the form. Would you like to um take which other products you want? Let me recommend you. We think that this is the sales part, but actually no. Sales begin right from the start because every touch point is important. And when every touch point is done right, usually the sales will just take care of itself. All right. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. The sales pipeline for step one, it is prospecting, which is the point of invitation and is the process of identifying and inviting people who might be open to a skincare experience and not convincing everybody to buy, right? And your goal at this stage is to create interest, not pressure, right? And then you go on to do lead qualification, which is the process of understanding who is open to join you for a facial experience or who is open to say, let me try this skincare solution, okay, before investing your time and energy. Okay, so everybody, before we move on, okay, I would like you to recall in your prospecting, other than being in person, physically being at meeting your prospects, what is the way that we have shared with you to do a wide prospecting? Something that works for you 24/7, something that is free. Very good. Social media. Well done. Okay, I see Nadine, Paula, Dawn. Yes, virtual. Excellent. Well done. Okay, so social media, very important, something that works for you 24 hours, 7 days a week. All right, so let's recap. This is what we have shared with you, right? That for you can use social media, Instagram, but one of the tools that you can use is um, a text tool. All right, so in Singapore here, we predominantly use WhatsApp. Perhaps from wherever you are, it could be WeChat, it could be Messenger, yes, it could be any other tool. All right, so at this point, okay, so here we see that recap, you need a clear profile picture, something that is a nice headshot photo of yourself, not any random food photo, lasagna or scenery, okay, or even your favorite animal. Okay, so we don't want that. We want your headshot, okay, because that establishes trust. Okay, and then next, you also see that there is your destination, your company, and if it is a business profile, you also have the option to include your website. Okay, why is this important? Because this gives your potential customers the context of what you do, what Celevive is, so that anytime when they are piqued with interest, to find out more about this, about what you do, about the skincare range, they can click into the website anytime, right, and find more information for themselves. So that by the time that you invite them for the Celevive experience, it is no longer strange or unfamiliar, right? It would be something that they have seen you post about. It's something that they would have gone into the website to take a look at. Yeah, and by the time you say, hey, would you like to come for the Celevive experience party? They would go, yeah, actually I've been interested for some time. Yeah, perhaps I'm interested to come for the party. All right. Yes. So if your social media, your messaging accounts, right, can be so clear that your customers are just one click away, that would remove lots of obstacle between you and your customers. Okay. So now quiz time. On average, I'd like to ask you, on average, how much time do people around the world spend on social media each day? Wow, 6 to 10 hours, 2 hours, seven, 18 hours. Oh my God, do you not sleep? 4 hours, three, 5, 10. Okay, very good. Yeah, and in fact, right, interestingly, I think that your responses is a good reflection of how much time you spend on social media yourself. Okay, so you might be spending a little bit too much time, huh? Yeah, but no worries. Let this work to our advantage. The answer, based on a article, is that it's around 2 hours and 40 minutes. Okay, a whopping 2 hours and 40 minutes. Of course, it varies, some less, some more. However, if we take the statistics, 2 hours, 40 minutes, that is the window of opportunity that you have every single day, that you can reach out to your prospects, to your potential customers, right? 2 hours, 40 minutes. But the big question now is, when they are online, do they see you? When they are online and looking at various fun videos, fun stuff, Instagram posts, are you the one that shows up on their feed, or are you obscure? Okay, so now our social media profile. Of course, again, we need our clear profile picture, and definitely, very importantly, you need your searchable keywords. Okay, so question, in that 2 hours and 40 minutes, very precious window of opportunity, do you show up? And how do you make sure that you show up, right? How we do that is to insert searchable keywords like USANA, Celevive, okay? And you provide your contact methods, event updates, sign up form, etc. Okay, so, and moving on, this you would have recalled that we also encourage you to have links Okay, that if you have links, it means that your customers are just one click away from you. The beauty of that is wherever you are, whatever you are doing, you could be sleeping, right? But your customers could still reach out to you. They could still reach out to DM you. They can still reach out to read more about the products that they are interested in. Okay? So at this point, I would first, before we talk about the other tools, right? I would like to ask if everybody, if you have used a nice headshot for your profile picture, that is one. And two, if you have inserted keywords, two. Okay, so if you have done your profile picture, type in one. If you have done both, which is updated your profile picture as well as inserted keywords, searchable keywords, type in one, two. Okay, very good. Yes. Okay, very encouraging. I see one, I see two, I see a couple of one and two. Excellent work. Yes, so don't worry. Those of us who have done one, or you have not started yet, it is fine because today is always another opportunity. All right, it's never too late, but the key is to start. All right, so everybody, whether you are at 0, 1, or 1 and 2, you can always do something today. All right, so today, let there be another step of improvement forward onto how we want to be searchable by our prospects. Okay, and next, we want to introduce to you also a tool, Google Form. When you actually have eyeballs, of prospects who are interested already in what you do, that's when you send out your invitation. And we recommend using Google Form for their RSVP. Okay, because there are a few cool tools, okay, in it. You can opt to be notified via email every time someone registers, so that you can keep track, okay, of your registration, of how high it is, and when you might need to boost it, by perhaps, having more interesting posts, about the event, right? Or even boosting it on social media. Okay, and in Google Form, you can also include relevant survey questions to understand who is coming to your party. Okay, so now everybody, because this is webinar 4, right? By now you should be very skilled at this. So I would like you to type into chat what are some questions that you can ask. Okay, other than information, okay, about your name, are you coming, which date you prefer, what question. Yes, Jennifer says the key is to start. Perfect. Okay, and put your profile picture where? Use it everywhere, in your messaging tools, in your social media, in Instagram. Okay, great. Now moving on to the questions. Okay, what is your skin type? What are your skin concerns? Any skincare questions? What problems do you have with your skin? Yes, do you have currently do you have a skincare routine? Will you be bringing a guest with you? Yes, wonderful. Yes, so you can find out all kinds of information. Why do you need that? Because first, this would help you to qualify the guest list, and you can also design the program more seamlessly. So something that I like to do is that I would actually uh, specifically bring up some of these questions during the experience with my guests, that some of you have mentioned that you are concerned about specifically anti-aging, you are concerned about dark spots. So is there a concern for everybody here? Let's raise our hands. And usually this would help to build a common ground with your guests during the spa party, and it would also lighten up the atmosphere. And more importantly, it also shows your guests that you have taken the effort to know what their concerns are, and you are ready to address it. Okay, and when you have Google Forms, you can also send reminders. And these reminders can be something that is fun, a skincare tip, something that is wellness related, like, oh, take 1 minute today to care for your skin. Or have you said thanks to your beautiful skin today? Okay, so it can be something fun, not too serious, but it reminds your guests about the event. All right. So at this point, if somebody comes writes back to you and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Um, I signed up for this, but actually I've decided not to attend." How do we respond? Of course, on our part, we may feel disappointed. We may feel anxiety that, oh no, I only have 10 people coming to my party. That that seems like a very small group, right? However, our emotions is to be mastered by us, all right? Even though you may feel rejected, you may feel disappointed, what we have to remember is this person who is not coming at this party, to this party, might just not be your qualified lead at this point, okay? It's not a never, but this person may not be ready for you at this point. And there may be more opportunities in the future when this person is ready. All right. Okay. So, an important self talk for us is that this person is not ready at this point, that this person is not ready today, but he or she may be ready in the future. Okay. So, that's Google Form. And next, the other tool is to use tools like Calendly. These are tools that customers can book your time for consultation. All right, so perhaps you are more comfortable, okay, with one-on-one consults, and other than doing, other than running spa parties, you also have other days of the week that you say, hey, let me open up my the last 2 days to the weekend, right, for personal consults with perhaps customers who are more comfortable in a small group setting. So you can use that tool for them to book your time for consultation, and you can even automate your reply, right? So that there would always be a prompt and timely response to interested customers. All right. So many of us will go, yes, now I have my social media account, I have my nice profile, headshot photo. Yes. So what kind of content should I post in order to attract the community that I want? All right. So at this point, we do want to share that please do not spend time worrying about how you want to monetize your account, or worrying about, oh dear, I have so little followers. What do I do? Right? Okay, so what kind of your content? Okay, and I want to encourage you to think of your page as a friend. Okay, think of it like a skincare BFF, best friends forever. Okay, for your customers, that whenever they visit your page or your site, they are not under pressure. They are looking at your journey, and it's almost like they're just conversing with a friend. Okay, so understanding social media trends in 2026. These days, when uh, we are looking for information, let's say for home renovation, or you are looking for any equipment, like kitchen tools or even skincare products, right? Where do people go? It used to be that there was a time that everybody goes to the great Google, right? And we simply type in and we see what pops out on page one. However, these days, many people are using social media as their search engine, right? Instead of going to Google, there are so many options out there, right? So you could simply even go into Instagram or TikTok, right? For example, if you go into TikTok and you say, oh, I want to go to a good seafood restaurant, and you just type in seafood restaurant, and lots of videos would appear for your pick. All right. So because of that, it means something for you and I. It means that we need to be searchable, right? If somebody types in skincare, how do you make sure that you are one of the top, that pops up on their feed so that they are able to click in and find out more, right? So we want to introduce to you this thing called social SEO. Okay, so what is SEO? Is search engine optimization. All right. Simply put, it just means that you are easily searchable and findable. Okay. So, how do you do that? You use the keywords in your bio, in your titles, captions, comments, hashtags, and text, etc. Okay. So, please take a look at the examples that we have put here. In fact, you can immediately, right now, go into your profile, whether you are using a messaging tool or you are using social media like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, or even 小红书, yeah, that some of us could be using. Yes, and in fact, right now include the hashtags Celevive, and you can also tag at Celevive Official, and also hashtag USANA. So at this point, I would like you to do this right now. Okay, so let's take action together. Okay, type into the chat if you have done it. Okay, and which are the keywords that you have included. Yes, okay, very good. Okay, so for hashtag, you would actually need to include the hashtag sign, okay? Yeah, so that then it is searchable. If it does not come with the hashtag sign, you are again not searchable. Very good. Okay, so everybody, once you have included these hashtags and tag into your bio or even any of your latest post, right? You can even go into your latest post and edit it and include the hashtag and the text. Okay. Another very cool tip is that on Instagram, you can actually collaborate with others. Okay. Or you can tag others to extend your reach. Okay. Why is this so important? Because when you tag others, or rather when you collaborate with another person, what it means is that um, the followers of both your followers as well as the one that you tag, they both groups of followers are able to see that post, right? Which means that instead of just showing your post to your group of followers, it actually extends it to multiply and double the impact, right? And how the algorithm works is this. The goal of social media is that they want to keep eyeballs on their social media, right, on their platform, and not let the user leave. For example, if a user was on Instagram but got distracted by something that was on TikTok and leave Instagram, then that is a bad sign. All right. So, which also means that social media platforms rewards those posts. Social media rewards the posts that can attract and retain eyeballs. Right. Okay. Let me repeat that. Social media platform algorithm rewards posts that can attract and retain eyeballs. Okay, so how do they reward you? When they see that your post is gaining lots of eyeballs, traction, lots of comments, and traffic, then that is when they would boost your post and show it to more viewers. All right, so that's how they reward you. All right, because and how do they know that your post is gaining eyeballs? When there are evidences of comments, when there is evidences of traction, and there is replies, and viewership. Okay. Yes, let's move on. All right, and another trend is that on social media, viewers want involvement. They want community, they want authenticity. right? So it's okay. Even if you look at your followership and you think, oh no, I only have 300 followers or I only have 1,000 followers, that is fine because you do not need to go viral, in order to be able to use the platform for your business. So when you what you should be doing is to be able to respond to comments to uh quickly, responsively, right? And in, of course, a nice, caring manner, right? To anybody, for example, if you leave, if there's a post over here, that you see that our post is, oh, a secret weapon in your fight to reduce the visible signs of aging, and you see that other people have left comments for you. Yeah, so whether it is, in the form of emoticons, yeah, and then you want to be able to respond and communicate and have a conversation with them. Yes, so your comments, while it can consist of just emoticons, I would encourage us to start a dialogue with anybody who took the effort to leave a comment for you, right? So you can ask them a question, you can encourage them, or you can also DM this person who has left a comment to you so that you can start a more private conversation with this person, right? And in your post or in your Instagram stories, you can also create conversations and dialogue. How do we do that? You can use tools like creating a poll. Ask how many of us are concerned with dark spots, or with pigmentation, and you let them do a poll. After that, you can share the results of the poll, yeah, and then you can share your personal journey on finding the solution, which of course lies in your journey with Celevive. All right. So our post is the start of a dialogue and it is not the final product. All right. So take every post as the beginning of new relationships with your potential customers. All right. And again, we have talked about how platforms are prioritizing and focusing on metrics, okay, that give us more information than view. Okay. And uh, they are pushing content that drives conversation, saves, and shares. So what it means that if your content is interesting, it contains information that is useful for your users, then they would save it. And when it's saved, it hints to the platform that your post is of value. All right. So again, in this post, you see that, okay, over here, yeah, we see, wow, grateful for all the beautiful USANA women in life who have been inspiring me for almost 2 decades. Yes, so over here, everybody, just from this post, right, and the caption, use the chat. I would like you to type in what are some words that you would use to describe the feeling that you get when you look at this post. Okay, so earlier we have already typed in the keywords, USANA, Celevive, wonderful. And now we're talking about the vibes that you get. Happy, gratitude, yes, sisterhood, friendship, happiness, trust, classy, nice, and they're having fun, right? Yes, fun, friendship, spa party, community. Wonderful. Yes. So, how did you get that feeling, that vibe from a simple photo and the caption? A few key things to take note. One, the ladies look happy, they're all smiling, right? So, you want to make sure that you capture photos where everybody looks like they're having a great time. Okay, and if you take a look, they look so relaxed. Okay, and it seems like there is a theme, looks like a pajamas party to me, right? Where everybody comes, relax, and let's take care of ourselves, well-being, let's do it together, right? And in the caption is very, very well crafted, right? In the caption, it says that, oh, all the beautiful USANA women, right? Who have been inspiring me for 2 decades. So you notice that you see 2 decades for a long time. Okay, yeah. These the sisterhood, right? And it's very much focused on woman empowerment and how we all uplift one another, right? So this paints a very important picture to your potential customers, your prospects. You know that if they join you, it's not just using a series of skincare products, but rather they could be joining you in a community, right? And in that community, they can experience the wonderful things of sisterhood, and that could be something that your prospects would want. Okay, so a very simple formula for posting: educate, show, invite. In your post, you want to share something that is useful, okay, for your customers. Of course, one of the things that you can begin is definitely your personal journey. Why is that so? When you share your own story, nobody can jump out and say, no, I disagree with you, right? Because you are not just sharing information. Okay, yes, so you are not just transferring information, you are showing your own transformation, which is more exciting, more inspiring, rather than just showing products or sharing knowledge. Okay, so you can share something useful. What have you learned or discovered in your skincare journey? Okay, and then you can show how you apply the products, right? So it could be something as simple, right, as showing your nighttime routine, right, or a get ready with me to work routine, and how you prep your skin. Okay, show how you apply it. Yes, and definitely, again, when you want to show, we also want to make sure that a product, we want to make sure that it is clear, it's in good lighting, okay, like what we have right now. And when you show, you want to make sure that you also show it luxuriously. Okay, yeah, show how you apply it and show how you enjoy the product and how it work for you. Okay, and of course, then you want to invite conversation. How do you do that? Right? You can always end it with, feel free to message me if you would like to learn more about building a simple, science backed skincare routine. Okay, so for some of us, who may think that, oh no, I get the idea, I know the concept, but I'm not very sure how to do it. Don't worry, this is a bonus for you today. All right, so we have for you a 7-day Celevive content creation cheat sheet. All right. Okay, so for this cheat sheet, if you are not sure what to post, don't worry, just follow this. All right. So, everybody, I would like to encourage you to take a screenshot, a screen capture of this cheat sheet right now. Okay. Give you some time for that. Okay, while I take you through what the 7-day journey is. Day one, you can post about your skincare journey. Okay, share about your personal journey, why skincare matters to you. It can take the form of, oh, taking care of my skin is important to me when, and you fill in the blanks. Okay, let's try this first. Okay, for a start. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, taking care of my skin became important to me when, okay, I will go first, okay? I will say taking care of my skin became important to me when I had my kids, because that is when I realized self-care is so important, and my skin is the first place that shows when I do not take care of myself. All right, so I would like you to fill in the blank, okay, and type into the chat. How do you carry on, complete the sentence? Taking care of my skin became important to me when I began to show signs of aging. Yes. When I started perimenopause. Yes. Wonderful. Some of us may say, the day I hit the big 40. Taking care of my skin became important when I was pregnant, right? When I noticed my skin changing, when I love myself, or when I saw dark spots, the big 50. Yes, wonderful. When I realized that my skin can be so much better, when the crow feet started to show. Okay, or some of you, when USANA came out with a skincare line, that's when it alerted you, right, that your skin is important. Okay, wonderful. Why is this so important? Because you find your tribe when you do this. For example, one of you have written that, oh, taking care of my skin became important to me when I went through perimenopause. And guess what? Out of the many people who could be viewing your post, some of them would resonate with you and they will go, yes, oh my God, I am approaching perimenopause too, and I'm so lost. I have no idea what to do because my skin is just going like wonky and my skin is going crazy and it's driving me nuts. And these people would be your tribe who would reach out to you and say, you know what, I'm hitting perimenopause too. Please share with me what you've got, right? Okay, so that is a very, very good opener for you. Okay, now day two. Then you can go on to education. From your personal journey, you can share one useful skincare tip or a myth that people often misunderstood, right? For example, using any of the knowledge that you have learned from our webinars, right? Earlier, I asked for a recap from you. Some of you wrote that, oh, I learned about my epidermis, right? Which is the topmost layer of my skin. Yeah, and why I need to take care of it. And some of you wrote, I learned about the difference between dry skin versus dehydrated skin, right? That is a very useful skincare tip that you can share. Or even your blotting paper that's for your skin type, right? And it could be a video where you do the actual blotting paper on your face and you share that. That's how you understand what your skin needs. Okay? And the example of a prompt is a small skincare habit that makes a big difference. Okay, day three, you can do a product spotlight. You can show a Celevive product and explain the skin concern that it helps with. For example, you say, I've always known that my skin is dry, it is dehydrated, right? But what I learned is that I actually need to feed my skin with water. So one of the thing is I've been using recently is this vitalizing serum, and when I apply it, take a look how hydrated my skin is. Okay, yeah, so that is something that you can do for day three, product spotlight. Day four, let's take a look at it. Demonstration, right? Again, you can show how you used a Celevive product in your routine. So you can incorporate the product that you have shown earlier into your skincare routine, and it can be part of a fun as you apply your skincare and makeup that you talk about the product and how it feels on your skin. Okay, day four, you can do a demonstration. Let me show you how I use this. Okay, day five, you can have social proof. Okay, you can share a customer experience, testimonial, or skincare result. For example, if you say a client recently told me that she felt that her skin felt so much better after she started on just one product, one Celevive product, right? So why is this powerful? Because it comes from another person, right? So there is corroboration that I experienced it, it is fantastic, and my client experienced some amazing results as well. How about you? Okay, day six, form a personal connection, right? You can share a self-care or skincare moment from your day. For example, you can say, my favorite way to unwind after a long day is taking care of my skin is relaxing on the couch with my favorite skincare. Okay, so again, everybody, I would like you to use the chat and type in how you would complete this sentence. If you are on day 6, okay, and you want to share a skincare moment from your day, my favorite way to unwind after a long day is, how would you fill that up? Okay, let's look at the chat. Okay, very good. So interesting. Having a mask. Yes, yes, yes. And that visually is also very cool. That you apply a mask and you lay on your couch in, a very nice luxurious PJs. Okay, to give yourself a facial, to do your night face care regimen. Okay, doing having a face mask time with your husband. Okay, lie in your hot tub. Okay, with your charcoal mask. Okay, that is cool. All right. Wonderful. There you go. So everybody, yeah, you have just written the next caption, okay, the caption for your next post. All right. Yes. So even just right after this, if it's nighttime for some of you, right? So in fact, put on the mask. I will encourage you and put up a post with my favorite way to unwind after a long day, right? Okay. And lastly, you can also ask your audience a skincare question in order to start a conversation, right? So, what is your skincare routine right now, and uh, how do you enjoy it, or are you satisfied with it? Okay, so question, how often should I post? Okay, use the chat and type in your response. How often should you post? Daily, every day, times 3 daily, once a day, 2 to 4 times daily. All right. Okay, very good. Of course, that is ideal. Okay. But the principle is this: you should post as often as you want people to remember you, right? Imagine every time your prospects look at their phone, and they're searching, they're looking for, oh, skincare products, oh, solutions for pigmentation, but they see other people and they don't see you. Then of course they would become customers of the post that they see, right? So you should post as often as you want people to see you. All right. So remember, exposure is doing and telling, right? Simply doing is not enough, right? Even if you do a lot, every day you are applying Celevive, every day you are enjoying the products, right? However, if you are not telling everyone or anyone, the exposure that you get is still zero. Okay, so in sales, getting the word out is key. If you don't share, nobody knows. If you don't share, you do not get prospects. And therefore, social media is one of the quickest, most effective way to get the word out. And if you are doing your mask every day anyways, right, why not just get the word out at the same time? Okay, yes. And when we want to increase our chances of sales, we want to create space for conversation to happen, right? And that is when your prospects are already interested and they come to your spa party, and that creates the opportunity for you. All right. And then we come to the all important closing. So most people, okay, like what Bill Gates say, most people think that selling is the same as talking. But the most effective salesperson knows that listening is the most important part of their job, right? Remember again when we say, oh, if I come to you and say, this product, it has biopeptide, it has niacinamide, and it's so wonderful for me, and you yak non-stop. Even if you yak and talk for the next 2 hours, about all your product knowledge, it is not going to make the sales. What is most important is for you to listen. And of course, in order for you to listen, you need your customer, you need your prospects to talk to you, correct? And how do you encourage them to talk? All right, so now again in the chat, everybody, I'd like you to type in, how do you encourage your prospects to talk to you? Very good. Ask questions. Oh, in fact, Paula has written in a question. Oh, do you experience dark spots? Okay, ask them questions. Excellent. Excellent. Open-ended questions. And at this point, I want to share with you a tip, okay? Guess in a conversation, who directs the flow and the direction of a conversation? Who is the one who controls the conversation? Correct. Whoever does the questioning, right? Sometimes we think that if I talk a lot, I'm controlling it. But no, guess what? The one who asks questions is the one who directs the conversation. Okay, so now the question is, how do we then ask good questions? Okay, we have this. When in just a fun fact in Singapore, when we were growing up and learning the English language and our writing skills, our teachers will always teach us 5W and 1H. And it is a little strange, but let me just share with you culturally, that we remember it by 5 wife and 1 husband. Okay, I mean, if it helps you, okay. How do you ask questions? What are the 5 W's and 1H, right? Yes, so these will help you to build rapport and gain insights into your customers' concerns. Okay, what? Ask what specific products or results the customer wants. Why? Understand why they're considering this product and what motivates their purchase. Who? You can ask, who is this product for? When? Ask them when are they planning to use the products. Where? Find out in what setting the product will be used. How? How did they find out or first hear about Celevive or the products? Okay, so at this point, okay, let's click to the next slide, but not click too much. Okay, we can stop there. Okay, so now this is interaction, okay? Yeah, so everybody put on your thinking caps. Now, let's move on to the what section. When we ask what, we want to ask about specific products or results that the customer wants, right? So type in questions that belongs to this category. What questions can you ask to find out what kind of results the customer wants? Okay, okay, Monique, what are you looking for? I'm looking for happiness in my life. Okay, what skincare concerns? Correct. Very good. Yes, what are you currently using? What's your biggest skincare concern? Excellent. What are your concerns? What type of issues do you have with your skin? Oh, what is your ideal? Very good, everybody. So we have seen that in the what category, you can in fact think of it 2 ways. One, you can ask about skin concerns, skin issues, what they are worried about, but you can also ask their aspirations. What would be your ideal skin? How would your ideal skin look like? Okay, yeah. So here are some examples. You can ask what type of skincare products are you using? What do you like about it? And like what you have said, what skincare concerns? What skin concerns would you like to improve? Okay, so that is the what. And if you have your phone with you or your laptop, please take a screenshot of that. Okay, yes. So these are some questions that in fact you can put out, whether it is on social media or in person, it would be very effective. Okay, moving on. Why? Okay, so same thing, you know the drill. Okay, why? What are some questions you can ask to understand why they're considering Celevive, and their motivations. Yes, okay. Miriam, why do you want to improve your skin? Why does this interest you? Why don't you change your skincare right now? Okay, what are your concerns? Yes, why do you want to look young? Okay, you might want to be careful, okay, when asking such questions, huh? Yeah, depending on the profile of your customer, some would be open to share with you, like, oh, I've always looked young in my life, but now I begin to see dark spots. So that could be how the conversation goes. Or for some more sensitive customers, you may want to be careful when treading around questions like this. Okay, yes, so let's take a look, right? So, some good questions. Why are you interested in switching skincare products? Has your skin changed recently, right? When you choose a product, what do you care about most? So, this will encourage your customers to share with you that, oh, yeah, when I choose a product, actually the price point is not so important. I just need to make sure that it can solve my skin textures problem, right? Then again, when you hear, skin texture, so which product do you recommend? Type into the group chat. I'll repeat this, okay? What do you care most about? Oh, not so much about the price or any other things, but my skin texture has changed ever since I aged. Yes? Okay, very good. I see that all of you have been listening well. Okay, so resurfacing serum, of course, some of you who have typed in vitalizing serum or the mask, you are not wrong either. All right, however, you would want to follow up with even more questions then to find out, oh, could it be that it's a lack of hydration? Then again, then if they say, yeah, it feels so dry, so then you understand that it is about skin texture refinement and also about dry or dehydrated skin. And that is when you can recommend the relevant products that would suit their needs. Okay, and next, who? Type into the chat. What questions can you ask for who? You want to find out who the product is for. Okay. Oh, that's very interesting. Who has influenced your skincare choices? All right, that is very creative. Okay, what else? Can we take a look? Who referred? Very good. Yes, you want to find out who was the wonderful person who has referred this prospect to you, right? Who you like to impress with your lovely skin? Okay. Who has skin that you admire? Who will you refer to me? Who got you interested in Celevive? Yeah, these are great questions. Yeah, in fact, you can also ask, if anybody comes to you and you can ask, like what is it about my post that got you interested in the first place, so that you also receive feedback about what went well for you. Okay, so who is this product for? Why is this important to find out? Okay, because you want to know that if this product is for personal use, or am I getting it, say, for my friend, who has been struggling, with skincare issues, and I want to get it as a gift for her, or is it for my husband or my children? Okay, so you want to find out more, so that you can also follow up with finding out what are then the skincare needs and concerns of the person who would be using it. Okay, let's move on. When? Okay, find out when they plan to start using the product. Again, let's use the chat. Type in what are some specific questions that you can ask. How soon are you wanting to start? Okay, upcoming wedding, wonderful. Okay, when do you need the product? I'll send it over to you. Okay, when do you last try something that really work? Okay, when do you cleanse your face? When do you think you should start, or when do you think you want to begin this journey? When would you like to sample this? Okay, do you want an appointment? When can we get together? Okay, wonderful. Okay, take a look at the suggested questions. When would you like to start using the products? Are you preparing for a special occasion, like wedding, for example, as what one of you have typed into the chat, right? Or would it be that you are getting ready to travel a lot for work very soon? Okay, and there could be changes, in the climate where you're going to, or is it because your skin always suffer during seasonal change, right? So knowing that would also help you be a more effective consultant. For example, if somebody says, "Oh, my wedding is actually in 4 months' time, and I think my skin is not in the best condition, for all the makeup and everything," right? So that is when you want to advise, that's when you can splice in your skincare knowledge, that, oh, for example, you can say, actually for our skin renewal typically takes place about every 28 days according to science, so in order for you to see results, you would actually need your skin to go through that cycle in order to see the results of your skincare. So therefore, if we have 4 months to your wedding, I would recommend that giving your skin the chance to experience Celevive products or skincare range for the next 2 to 3 months is a good lead time. There is sufficient time in order for you to experience the difference that Celevive can make on your skin. Okay, so that is the way we use our when question. All right, so it's not a case of, oh, when are you use when do you plan to start using? Oh, for the wedding. Okay, you can start today. All right, and you end the conversation. All right, so these are meant to continue a dialogue, to carry on a dialogue, and not to end it with, just when only when you got the answer and you say, okay, for wedding period. Okay, all right, moving on. Where, yes, many people have products that they want to finish. Yeah, so when is an important question. Okay, wonderful. Okay, and where, you want to find out in which setting the product would be used. Where is question about the location, the place that your customer are in. Okay, where should we meet? Okay, that's a logistical question, huh? Yeah, where should we be meeting? Starbucks next Tuesday. Okay, yes, okay, where do you live? Okay, what is the climate, where you are living in? All right, okay, let's take a look at the chat. Okay, where do you live? And I would like to add on, where do you work? All right. So perhaps, like, okay, let's say, where do you live? For us, in sunny, humid, extremely hot Singapore, um, we perspire a lot. Okay, yeah. So over here, when interestingly, many of our customers would be quite concerned with having too much products on our skin, right? So many of the ladies or even gentlemen would say that, oh, I prefer not to use something so thick, or feels oily or greasy on my skin, because that would be so uncomfortable, because I would perspire a lot, right? However, from where you are, it could be a different matter. It could be that every day, you wish that the sun would be out more, you wish that there would be more humidity, right? So that's when different product recommendation would be more effective. Okay, and where you work, whether you work in an air conditioned space or you work predominantly outdoors would also matter in the form of the texture of the product that you recommend and the type of product. Okay, and if your prospect's skin often get affected by environmental changes or seasonal changes. So everybody's skin is different. Some of us are more affected, some not so. Okay, moving on next. How? Okay, you want to learn how the product would be used. How did they first hear about Celevive? Yes? How will you use the product? Do you plan to incorporate this into your daily routine? How can I help you have a better skin? How do you hear about me? How do you find out about Celevive? Was it through a friend's recommendation or did you find us online? Okay, let's take a look. All right, so how do you know of Celevive? Was it through a friend's recommendation or do you read about us online? All right, so very simple. 5W1H. Okay, and in the chat group, and if at this point, okay, we have so much great questions that is collected in our chat. So everybody, I'd like you to open up your chat, copy the questions that we have all the way from the first W to your H. What, who, why, where, when, how. Okay, and paste it, okay, whether it's in your notes, whether it's to a message to yourself, right? And keep all of these, all right? And from there, you select the questions that you feel are most effective for you to start a dialogue, a conversation with your prospects, okay? And then apply it, use it, in any conversation that you have today, whether it is in a text message to your friend, or in your social media question, or even if you are meeting somebody, for high tea tomorrow, you can always use these questions. The key is you can have all these questions, but you need to be prepared. So whenever you go into a conversation, into a meetup, you do not go in blank, right? You always go in with questions that you have already prepared in mind and rehearse it so that when you meet your prospects, it is always with a strategy, it is always clear, and again, remember who controls the conversation and directs the flow of it, the one who asks questions, right? So come in prepared with your questions and you are ready to direct the flow and direction of the conversation, right? So remember that you is the most important word in any conversation. Minimize I, minimize me. I focus on you. All right, so hence 5W and 1H. Okay. All right. So in sales, we don't sell the stage, we sell the act. All right, we want to make sure that even if you say, okay, let's meet at Starbucks and tomorrow at 2 p.m., right, you have your platform, that you have secured that. However, that is not the whole point. The whole point really is for you to ask questions. Why? Because then it can lead in very smoothly to your demonstration and your sharing. All right, and we want to remind everybody that when we do consults, we want to speak with integrity and speak with professionalism. Okay, so the trademark of professionalism is responsibility, right? So we want to be responsible in terms of the words that we choose to use. It should build credibility, it should protect the integrity of our brand. Okay, so in skincare, we speak about appearance, not medical treatment. For example, it is totally fine when you say, oh, it improves the appearance of fine lines. The key word here is the appearance. Okay, it improves the appearance, the way it looks. Okay, and it helps brighten dull looking skin. Okay, however, what is not responsible is when we say it treats wrinkles or it removes pigmentation, because when you use such phrasing, you actually make it sound like it is medical, uh, and you are making claims that cannot be backed up. All right, so skincare, uh, definitely, it would help improve the appearance of the skin, but it is not a medical solution. Okay, we also encourage you to use measured, accurate wording. Okay, let's take a look at what should be avoided first. Okay, avoid absolute claims, right? So words like it eliminates, it will remove your dark spots, it reverses aging, or it would cure eczema, right? So these are claims that you and I want to avoid. Okay? Yes, however, what do we use? We want to use measured, accurate wording. Like, for example, it helps with the texture of your skin. It visibly improves the hydration of your skin. It improves the look of the texture of your skin. It supports skin firming. Okay? Yes, so responsible consultation, taking note of the words is important, and therefore rehearsing what you want to say is also important so that you get the words into your muscle memory. And even when you are feeling anxious, you're feeling a bit nervous about the appointment, you would still be able to use the right words. So here, therefore, we want to introduce to you a method, okay, that you can easily use in order to highlight the benefits of our Celevive products to your customer. Okay, keywords here, do it with focus, do it with clarity, right? So why is this so important? Some of us here are very, very good at building rapport, right? So you may be able to meet up with a friend, have a chit chat, talk about your family, children, talk about where you live, your neighborhood, even talk about your history of school days, working days, ex-colleagues. However, some of us are not so uh effective at landing the plane, right? There is no point if in your 1 hour appointment you talk about everything else, but you are hardly able to get to skincare conversation. Then you are also not landing the sales. All right, so how do we use 5W1H method and this FAT method together? 5W1H helps you to direct the conversation and to begin the conversation about skincare, right? Yeah, so it could be like, oh, hi, good to meet you. How have you been doing? Oh, wonderful, great to hear from you. Yes, I'm so happy that we managed to get this appointment and to really sit down. So I'm just wondering, what are some skincare concerns that you have recently? There you go. You use what question? All right. And after the conversation goes along smoothly, you find out about the skin type, skin needs of your prospect. That is when you want to do a product spotlight. And how do we do a product spotlight that is focused, that is clear, instead of going all over the place? Okay, so we do this by FAB, okay, which is FABE. F stands for your feature. Feature, you introduce the product and its purpose. Straightforward, okay? A, advantage. You want to explain the unique selling points compared to other options. B, benefit. Highlight direct benefit to the customer that is tailored to their needs. And evidence. Back it up with proof. Success stories, customer reviews, data, research, or live demos, right? So by now, you will have seen that, oh, once you have completed the FAT method, you would be able to then say, oh, let me show you with demos. So recall earlier in our webinars, we have shown you the demonstrations, yeah, that you can easily replicate and show to your prospects. Okay, so let me give you an example. Wow. Okay, so now you have been okay. Maybe I have Joy up here. Then she is my customer. No worries. You can just stand here. Yes. All right. So if Joy is my customer and we are having a conversation, and I find out that she has been struggling, with dry skin ever since she ever since she started working in a new place, right? Okay, so I want to recommend to her the contouring face and neck cream. All right, and at this point I can say, oh, since you are struggling with dry dehydrated skin, this is one of the products that might help you. So this is our Celevive contouring face and neck cream. It is a high performance anti-aging cream that is specially designed for our face and our neck as well. So face and neck. So what it does, it combines powerful ingredients such as our biopeptide CS, superfood complex, Abyssinian oil. Yes, so these products which will help the skin feel smoother, it will help the skin feel more hydrated. And since your skin type is dry and you want to improve hydration while also improving firmness of your skin, the appearance of firmness, the ingredients of this cream could be helpful for you. Yes, so if you're interested, you know what? Let's do a quick demo on how you can lock moisture onto your skin to give you long-lasting hydration. Would that be fine? Okay, that is wonderful. Okay, so let's try this out. Let's take a look. Yes, so can I apply this on the back of your hand if you don't mind? What nice hands Joy has. All right, and at this point, again, remember using very languid, luxurious movement. You want to apply, right? And you want to ask her, oh, so how do you feel? Very nice, right? Yes. And looking at the hand with the hand that has our contouring face and neck cream, this looks so hydrated. Lovely. Yes. And yeah, so if you would like, I can show you another demonstration that will show how it locks moisture and hydration onto our skin. Thank you very much, Joy. All right, so everyone, so you have seen how it can look very organic. It can look very natural, right? So why did I get Joy up here to do the demo? Because some of us may look at this script and you think, this sounds so robotic. Am I supposed to memorize this and present this like as a script to my customer? No. All right, the point is that you need to know it so well that you can rattle it off. Okay, however, you also need to know it so well that it can sound natural and not scripted and not robotic. Okay, so in order for us to learn this, okay, we'll show you another example, but in a bit it will be your turn. Okay, yes, so the triple action eye cream. Okay, by now you can see that it is designed to target the delicate a skin area around the eyes. It's formulated, and you notice that what I do is that I often demo to you how I talk to my customer, right, by holding the product. Okay, I hold the product, and if you find it difficult to talk about the advantage, you cannot remember all the key ingredients like especially tricky ones, difficult ones like matricial morphomics or haloxyl, yeah, no worries. That is when you simply hold the product, okay? And in our product packaging, the ingredients, some of the specific ingredients are listed here, right? So in fact, you can just simply hold this, talk as you talk to your prospect, you can point out to the ingredients and simply read it off. That would be the advantage portion. Okay, benefit, since you are concerned with fine lines, dark circles, this eye cream can help your eye area appear brighter, smoother, and more refreshed. Let me show you a quick demo on how you can minimize. Do you see again evidence, right? It leads you very seamlessly into the demonstrations that you can do to show your prospect. Okay, so right now it's your turn for practice. So your task right now is to use FAB to highlight the goodness of vitalizing serum to a customer. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this slide on for you so that you can refer to it for feature, advantage, benefit, and evidence. All right, so everyone, I would like you to type out how you would use FAB to highlight the goodness of vitalizing serum to a customer and type it into the chat. Thank you very much. Yes. Okay, so you will probably need some time, right, to be able to do this. Yes. So if you have your vitalizing serum with you, great. You can bring it out, yeah. But if okay, and you'll be able to see the specific ingredients, okay, on the packaging. Yes, I always hold my product like that. Yes, key points. Yes, and I noticed somebody. Oh, this is my desert island product. Okay, that's a very visual, very graphic way to describe, but that is an excellent metaphor. Desert island, right? Because then you want to talk about the hydration that it can help with your skin. The coffee that helps me wake my eyes every day. Wow, the people here are quite poetic, huh? Yeah, so very good. Yes, protect your skin. Okay, so now everybody, I know you're thinking hard and doing your work. Okay, so I would like you to go by FABE and type out the exactly what you would say. How would you introduce the product? How would you describe and explain the advantage? What are the benefits to the customer? And what is the evidence? Okay, let's do the full uh, method, okay, of FABE so that whenever you hold up any product, you know that you are not simply just saying, oh, this is hydrating, full stop, period, right? Okay, you need the full script in order for you to be able to explain more about the product to your customer. Okay, I'll give you some time to do that. And meanwhile, while you are doing it, you're writing out your script, I would like to point out specifically what the difference between advantage and benefit. All right. So, for example, if I walk into a store and I say, I want to buy a mobile phone, I want to buy a handphone, okay? Yeah. The salesperson could tell me about this phone. Oh, it is Samsung or it is Apple. Okay, that is introducing the product to me. The person may tell me, oh, it is very compact and light. That is an advantage. However, when I hear that in my mind, I would think, so what? So what if it's compact and light, right? But I need to hear the benefit to me directly. I need to know, oh, it's compact and light because when I go to work, I want to make sure that I can pack my laptop in, I can put everything in, and it's not too heavy for me. And I need to make sure that on days that I go for parties, it can fit nicely into a tiny bag. That, my friends, is a benefit to me. Okay, yes, so that's the difference between advantage and benefit. Okay, so I'm looking at what you're writing now. Xiaoqi Wang written, this product is designed to improve your skin hydration and brighten the skin, give your skin a better looking with less wrinkle looking. It has biopeptide. Okay, very good. She has moved on. FA and then B, it improved the skin look. Okay, let's go up again to Xiaoqi. Okay, it improved the skin look. Okay, and many of you have said yes. Would you like to see a demo? Do you like me to apply on the back of your hand and feel it? Okay, Darylin has has done very well. Okay, vitalizing serum helps hydrate the skin, includes our biopeptide and olivo 24, benefits the drying area of your face. Would you like to see a demo? There you have it. Okay, wonderful. So everyone, thanks to all who have typed in the chat your responses. To some of us, I'm sure you're still doing it, and some of us may take some time to craft your script. However, the point is this: this is part of the preparation of a great salesperson. Okay, yes. So the point is not simply to do sales, right? Again, the more important thing is that you take care of your customer. You take care of recommending them accurately, uh, clearly about the product in a way that helps them, and the sales would take care of itself, right? So even though we always say, oh, salesperson, but in fact you are on a journey with your customer, and part of the journey is for you to be able to share product features and the benefits for them. Okay, so if for those of us who have submitted, okay, your script, okay, for vitalizing serum, you may want to take a screenshot of this, right, and do a comparison, between what you have written and what we have suggested over here, right, and you find what is comfortable for you. Some of us, we need more words to explain something, and you're comfortable with speaking. So therefore, a script as what I've shown you here would work for you. Okay? Yes? So, and this is not the end of the story. We have shown you contouring face and neck cream, triple action eye cream, and now you have done it for yourself for our vitalizing serum, but it's not the end, right? After the end of this webinar series, right? Um, while you're not while we have not gone through all the products using fab, right? However, you can do it for yourself, right? Test yourself that take any of the products, be it the by face makeup remover, or our postbiotic series, and apply fab onto it. If you can work out what you would say for all of the products, in our series, you can meet anybody with great confidence. All right. So sell the problem that you solve, not the product. Okay, you need to know the product information, the features, but more importantly, you need to highlight the fact that it helps to solve the concerns and the problems that your customer has. So after you have used 5W1H to direct the conversation flow, and then when your customers are interested to find out more, that is when you pick up your product and you use FAB to describe the products and highlight the benefits to your prospect customers. That is when then you can share with them, in fact, the Celevive routine comprises 4 steps, all right, which is cleanse, prep, correct, and hydrate. And this we have already gone through in previous webinar. All right, and okay, and in fact, I've printed this out visually for us, right? This is a checklist that you can use during your consults, be it one-on-one or during your spa parties, that everyone gets one sheet, and when you say that, oh, okay, well, this brings us to the end of our Celevive experience party. So now let's chat, okay? And you can use this checklist to talk about, oh, so earlier we talked about your skin type, your skin needs, and let's check this off. And so based on that, what are some of the products, that would help to improve that condition? These would be the products that I recommend for you. Okay? Yes? So printing this out would help to facilitate, okay, your consult. Okay, so whether it is a need for hydration, brightening. So earlier I tested you about brightening, right? If your prospects say that, oh, I have issues with skin texture, then that is when you recommend, oh, resurfacing serum. And how do you um explain the benefits of the product? You use FAB method, as well as from webinar 3, when you learn about the ingredients of the product as well as some skin knowledge. That is when you insert it into the conversation. Okay, for texture refinement and for boosting and rejuvenation, we have recommended products. For calming and comfort as well as oil balance, we have the products as well. Okay, so now it brings us to the final part, okay, which is your close. All right, so you see here, lost or won. Okay, whether it's losing or winning, however, I would like us to redefine the idea of winning and losing. All right, so of course, in an ideal world, we want the spa party or consult to go this way. Oh, would you now like to get a set of the products? Oh yes, give me the entire set. I would love it, ideally. Okay, and I wish you all the best that it will happen. However, there are also times that customers say, you know, I'm not sure at this point. All right, so at this point in your mind, okay, you may think, oh, this is a losing, right? I'm losing the deal. I'm not winning. Okay, but I would like us to reframe our thought that do not think that because when a prospective customer asks questions, it is a sign to you that they are interested, right? It is a loss only, when they go, oh, I really dislike this experience, then you know you've done something wrong. Okay, but that should never happen, huh? Okay. However, what we want to know is that whenever there are objections or questions, that is a good sign because it means that your customer is seriously considering the products. Okay, so the principles for us is to listen in order to understand and not to pick a fight with your prospect. Okay, so customers didn't come to your spa party to be lectured by you, right? They came to be understood, right? And to build rapport with you. So we want to guide and not push. So your job is not to hard sell or to force it on them, okay? Your job is to help them make a decision, okay? And again, avoid monologue, all right? So you already know to do that using questioning technique. Okay, so what are some common objections that our customers have? First, is Celevive suitable for sensitive skin? Okay, before we show them the slide, everyone, we can show them the slide. Okay, sorry. Okay, so you can share with them that our products are tested for safety and sensitivity and are dermatologist tested. And they are also free of uh, some unwanted ingredients like parabens, formaldehydes, etc. All right. And if your customer is still concerned about sensitivity and they still think that, okay, yes, I hear you. I know you're sharing that with me, but how can I, have peace of mind when using Celevive? Okay, so everybody type into chat, which range do we share with them? Okay, very good. Patch test. Okay, postbiotic. Okay, excellent. So postbiotic is the range that we want to share with people who are very concerned with sensitive skin. But I'm so glad that you picked up also about doing patch tests. All right, so let's move on. So if they experience sensitivity after using the product, they text you and say, hey, I've really tried the product, but there is some discomfort. Okay, so you need to know that while our products are carefully formulated and tested for skin compatibility, but individual skin responses can still vary. Okay, yes, so especially when you are introducing new skincare products, there will be various skin responses. Okay, so you can advise to do a patch test, all right, for over 24 hours. It could be at the back of the ear, okay, or it could be also the inner part of your arm. Okay, and you can also advise your customers to condition their skin gradually, okay, because our skin barrier needs time to adapt. All right, so gradually could mean in less amount, okay, or it can also mean in frequency. Okay, so adjust the frequency of your use, and of course, we want to put our customers' well-being at the forefront. That is our top priority. Okay, so we do not force them, or coerce them to carry on using despite the discomfort. Okay, we advise them, and if the discomfort persists or it worsens, we advise them to discontinue use and consult a doctor. Or another scenario, during your product trial, if your prospective customer says, help, it's so uncomfortable, my skin is burning, what do we do? The principle is that we always protect our guests first. All right, so stop application immediately, because safety builds credibility, right? So do not insist that they wait it out. All right, but instead you tell them, thanks for telling me. I want to make sure that you are comfortable. Why don't we stop the application and cleanse the product from your space first? Okay, and a interesting skin fact is that uh, mild tingling may occur when you are introducing certain specific ingredients, like for example, certain exfoliating acids, retinoid alternatives, etc. Especially if your customer already has skin barrier that is compromised, or when their skin is not accustomed to certain specific ingredients, or when the product is applied after exfoliation. And of course, if the sensation resolves and the skin appears normal, the guest may continue to trial the other products if they are comfortable with it, right? If the discomfort still remains, or there are signs of swelling, pain, redness, or rashes, discontinue use immediately and advise the guest to consult a medical professional if the symptoms continue. Or there could be questions like, how soon can I see results? So share with them that results are different for each person, since we all have unique skin, right? So most people can see a difference in skin hydration, overall appearance in about 2 weeks, but it can take up to 90 days, which is 3 months, for skin to renew itself. All right, and if you are expecting more dramatic visual results, it may take longer. So again, uh, while we hear the questions, and we do not want to brush off any questions or dismiss them. So you can share your skincare knowledge, which is understand that skin is a very complex organ. It is the largest organ of the body. There are multiple layers, different skin types, so therefore results will vary depending on your genetics, and also again based on your current individual skin condition. All right, and not only understanding the skin, you want to understand your customer. That is a perfect opportunity for you to ask, that because skin can be influenced by hormones, like some of us mentioned perimenopause. Yeah, it can be affected by stress, sleep, skincare routine, overall diet pattern, how regularly the product is used, etc. Yeah, so therefore this is the perfect chance for you to ask further clarifying questions and build rapport and knowledge of your customer. All right, and there are also some of our prospects who come to our spa party. However, when you say, oh, would you like to try the products? They may say, no, no, not really. Maybe I just observe and not try the products. Okay, and at that point, the principle is this: respect your guest. Okay, gently lower the resistance. You invite them, but do not insist on it. All right, so how can you respond to them? You can say something like this: of course, you are welcome just to observe and see the rest applying it. Or then provide alternatives for them. Oh, some of our guests actually want to feel the texture, and they prefer to feel it even just on the back of their hands. Would you also like to try it here? Or we can try a patch test if you like, just so that you can experience it. If you are uncomfortable at any point, we'll stop immediately. Okay, or some of our customers may say, oh, this certain big brand I'm using, which can also achieve the same results as what you claim. Okay, so at that point, we need to be confident. All right, so do not fall into the frame of the comparison trap. All right, so what you need to do is to reframe. the conversation, right? So what you can say is, that sounds great. Sounds like you're already investing in your skin. That's wonderful. Okay, so then after that you invite the experience. But anyway, since you're here today, why don't you experience it for yourself, and then you can decide what works best for you. So results can look similar. What differs is how the ingredients are formulated to work together and how well your skin can tolerate them. Well, so since you have the opportunity to experience our extensive range today, why why don't you give it a go? Okay, and also not just that, share the fact that it is beyond skincare, that it is a community, that Celevive equips us, our brand partners, with training, community support, as well as a business opportunity. Which, how many of us can confidently say that you know of any skincare brand, that will empower you that exact same way? All right. And next, possibly some of your guests may go, your product is too expensive. All right. And that is the part where we want to reframe the idea that is about price or about value, right? Because your customer is probably not convinced of the product value at that point. So, how you can respond? I see. Perhaps you could share what value most in a product, right? Or very often when we want to make a purchase, it may not be simply, let me have the cheapest, right? Sometimes, and very often we go for the product because we know about the ingredients, about the results, and we trust the brand. Okay, so you will want to find out what matters most to your customer. Okay, and price objections are usually about perceived value and not simply the price tag. Moving on, I need more time to think about it. Okay, and if you have poured a lot of your heart and your effort and perhaps money into your spa party, at this point you may panic because your immediate reaction, okay, not response but reaction, could be, why? Why do you need to still think about it? I've shown you so much already. Just decide today. But if you do that, that would make your customer uncomfortable. Okay? Yeah. So we need to understand that your customer may just not be ready yet, and they may be unsure whether the product fits his or her needs. So, how can you respond? May I know what concerns you have? Again, your W questions are important. What are your concerns? How about I check in with you again in next week, in 3 days' time, right? And you set a deadline, right? You don't want to leave it ambiguous or floating in the air. Like, oh, I'll check in with you again. When is again, right? It may never happen. And when you do not follow up, it hurts your credibility with your customer. So we want to show trust, not pressure, and yet we want to also create healthy boundaries. Hence, having the deadline. If you say, let's meet next week or next Wednesday, and your customer say, actually, I'm not so sure, let's not fix a date. Then it's time for you to fix your own boundary and say, maybe you're not ready for this, and uh, when you feel like you want to find out more again, I invite you to contact me. Okay, so that is keeping your healthy boundary and keeping what we share of high value. All right. So this we have come to the last slide. Okay. Yeah, and we have done a lot, and all of you have been great. I mean, I love how immediate your responses were in the chat group. Yeah, and we wish you all the best. For not just the quiz that's upcoming. But for your life, for your business, and for your Celevive journey. And we want to say to you, stay professional, stay warm, do not let the disappointment come to get to you, because a no today can always become a yes tomorrow, and may you experience a lot of yes from all your customers. So joy. Yes. So thank you very much. Yes, and we want to wish you the very best in your journey, and thank you for letting us be part of the journey with you.
Our
Let's
skin.
celebrate.
Yeah, our skincare guides. Oh my gosh, put in the chat how much you enjoyed this and all of your, I feel so grateful for you two ladies and just pouring into us. We're so, so grateful. Now, I have some exciting things to share. But first, there's a few questions in the chat, in the Q&A that I feel like are relevant for everybody. So what would you recommend for the length of a spa party? So how long should somebody plan to do a spa party?
That is a great question. So typically, okay, this is just our recommendations, but based on your culture, and your unique community, adjust accordingly. Okay. Yes. So typically we recommend something that is in the range of 1.5 to 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so why is that so? When you break down your program, so whenever we run, parties like this, right, we would break it down into the exact timing. So you want to say that, for example, if you say that the party would start at uh 10 a.m. Okay, 10 a.m. Why 10 a.m.? Because you want to put it at a time that is not lunchtime
Yeah.
or too close to lunchtime, then people are too distracted by their tummies. Okay, so 10 a.m. Yes, and you want to factor in, like some people will be fashionably late, and then maybe only at 10:15 will you be able to really start proper. All right,
Right.
and then thereafter you want to have a welcome, chit chat, have a little game to break the ice because everybody, they could be strangers, right? Yeah, so altogether that would take you 30-40 minutes into the program already, and then from there you want to plan, okay, which product do I spotlight, and how do I share about Celevive as a brand. Okay, yeah, so if you plan to have a product spotlight of, say, 4 products out of the 4 steps, right? So one product for every step. Then you would want to factor in, like time to talk about it, time for them to experience it, time for you to do your demonstration, whether it's apricot or sesame seeds demonstration. Yeah, so you want to factor in time for that. And then, more importantly, you want to factor in the last half an hour or 45 minutes in order for you to do your consultation, right?
Right.
Yes, because you don't want a case that you just say, oh, that's the end of the party. Thanks everybody for coming. Bye. That's not good. All right. We want it to be, now it's time for your personal consult. And we talk to the person with the checklist. Yes. And then we take out, mark out, and help guide our customers decide which are the products that they will need.
Awesome. Okay, time for one more. So we learned a few weeks ago to use the exfoliating mask once a week. However, on the tube, it suggests 3 to 5 times a week. What's your suggestion there?
Okay. All right. So yes. Okay. So again, it varies with different skin types and skin needs. Yes. So if your skin barrier is healthy and resilient, right? You can definitely afford to use it 3 to 5 times, right? However, if you have sensitive skin or if you have sensitized skin, so remember again, the difference is some of us just have skin that is more prone to dryness, redness,
Right.
etc., sensitive skin. But some of us could have sensitized skin. For example, um for ladies, if you're going through the time of the month, your skin could be sensitized, right? Some of us, maybe you were at the beach over the
Mm-hmm.
weekend with your family, and due to the photo, the UV rays, your skin could also be sensitized. So in these cases, then we'll recommend that if you still want exfoliation, gentle exfoliation, once a week. Mm.
Okay. Thank you all. Thank you. Okay. So we learned a lot in, in 4 weeks. So is anyone wondering what's next? What happens next? Now we're all trained up. So put in the chat if you're wondering what's next, if I'm not alone. Yes. Good. Okay. Let me share my screen so that I can share with you what is next. Here we go. Okay. So, Friday, what's next? Next steps. Here we go. Friday, April 3rd, you will receive receive an email with all 4 webinar recordings. Yay, the chat should be going crazy. You asked for it, we delivered. So you will be getting the recordings, the links to the recordings in email, along with the PDFs for the step-by-step demo guides, because I promised that as well. Also, in that email, we will have a link to take the final Celevive certification quiz. You must achieve 80% or higher to pass. Now, you can take the quiz multiple times until you get 80%. The recordings and quiz link will expire on Friday, April 10th. So you have 1 week to study up, to use those recordings as your study guide, and take the quiz. Now, I'm going to put this out there. I think the quiz might come in a separate email. It might be in your Friday email, but it also might be separate. I think we're just working through that before I created this slide. So just a caveat there. And then when you get 100%, no, I'm just kidding. Of course, everyone's going to get 100%. But when you pass the quiz, you will be emailed with your official Celevive certificate that you can print off and hang in your office. How awesome is that? Okay, now I am here to declare April as Skincare Month. How does that sound? Yay! All things skincare. And here is why. So this is for the US only. So I'm speaking to the US market who are on the call. We want you to save the date because we have something big dropping on April 25th. And we are going to be hosting 2 parties, watch parties for this big launch. We're calling it Glow Up Watch Party. So we want you to register for your in-person seat. We're hosting one in Los Angeles and one in Naperville, Illinois. So if you're in those areas, make sure you grab your ticket. We're going to have popcorn and food, and we're going to watch the launch, like the ball drop. And then we're going to do a whole Celevive demos and skincare, and you can touch and feel all the products with your guest. So these are guest events also. And we'll, of course, learn a little bit about USANA as well. Here is, you can scan this on your phone to register for those 2 events. I'll give you a minute. However, if you are not in Chicago or LA, you can stream the launch live on April 25th on the Saturday. So you can watch from the comfort of your home and maybe even plan your own watch party and invite some friends over. Practice what you learned today with Violet and Joy and host your own Celevive skincare party. And so here is how you register to get the link to stream the live launch. Okay, but wait, there's more. Again, this is still for the US. This is your challenge. So we will be launching this. If I believe we actually already have, I think the email went out today. We are challenging you to get in groups of 3, and we're counting on you guys as the champions of the skincare line to be the leaders of your group. And throughout the month, it starts April 17th. So you have between now and April 17th to get your groups together, find your other brand partners, and you're going to be enrolling people throughout the month in your groups of 3 to earn points and prizes. So you have to register your team. So this is how you do that. So again, here's another QR code to scan. You get to come up with a fun team name, and you're going to be earning prizes all the way until May 29th. So again, this starts April 17th, so you have a little bit of time to get organized, and all the details on this are in the email that went out. Okay, and this is for the US and Mexico. Mexico is also doing this challenge, but reach out to your market development manager in Mexico to get all those details on how you register. And for our Canadian friends, and you see why April is skincare month, it makes sense, right? We have this awesome promotion going on. Get a pair of free silicone reusable eye patches. And how cute are those? Hey, Joy and Violet, like with the little Celevive set with your purchase of the vitalizing serum and triple action eye cream. And this is available until Friday. So that's your promotion in Canada. So that is all I have. I'm just checking the chat if there were any questions. Happy birthday, Serene. It's her birthday. I just saw in the chat. Okay, I hope everybody has an awesome rest of their week. Be on the lookout for that email on the Friday. It will have everything you need in it. Again, the quiz might come in a separate email to the link to the quiz, but you should receive everything on Friday. Happy studying. And again, thank you to Violet and Joy. Have an awesome rest of your week and your month. Bye now.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.